Before I go into the introduction of this video, I do want to mention that in the last few videos, I may have been relatively louder than normal. I changed my mic source, and I didn't realize, because I forget to double check my videos, that I was being a fair bit louder than normal. That's my bad. This should be the new normal volume if it's not too loud. If you do think that it is too loud, let me know in the comments and I will work to change it. I'm still working on it, so I do apologize about that sudden change there. In this video, we are discussing Super Typhoon Sally of the 64 Typhoon season. We are in the final stretch of the season. This is the first of the final three notables in the debrief of that season. Sally was also known as A-Ring in the Philippines because, well, why not? Sally would first start as a depression and be detected as a depression on September 3rd. She would intensify into a storm on the same day and become typhoon strength on the 4th. So some pretty rapid intensification here. She would trek to within just 25 miles of Apari, which for the life of me, I cannot remember if it is a town on an island or an island. I apologize about that. And she would do this at her peak. Her peak would be winds of a staggering 195 miles per hour, a minimum pressure of 894 millibars, and a size of 425 miles across. She would just barely scrape north of Luzon, and Sally would make landfall east of Hong Kong with winds of 96 miles per hour, also known as Category 2 equivalents, on September 10th. Sally would go on to impact Guam earlier in her life, not near Hong Kong. Guam is not near Hong Kong, I promise, and caused around $150,000 in damage, specifically to southern Guam. Thankfully, however, there were no casualties. U.S. aid said that there was, quote, considerable damage, end quote, in northern Luzon, as you might expect from a storm that was well above Category 5 equivalents, heading just north of the island. Around 10,000 people would be evacuated from Hong Kong because of fears of a repeat of Typhoon Ruby, which tragically took the lives of 700 in Hong Kong. Rain totals would reach as high as 14 inches. I forget if this was in the Philippines or in China. Bear with me there. The remnants of this storm would give Seoul, Korea, its worst rains in 20 years. These rains would be around 5 to 8 inches. This caused the flooding of more than 9,000 homes in Seoul. Sorry, it's Seoul. Seoul. Damage totals from this storm would reach a rough estimate of $1 million US. Sally would also tragically kill a total of around 220 people, injure around 400, and leave 38,000 people displaced, also known as homeless. Sally is one of the most powerful typhoons on record. Granted, records only go back so far, and in fact, when you go to the Wikipedia list that lists off um, intense storms of Category 5 equivalents, or high, or just super typhoons, it is. Some don't even pop up. Like for example, from 70 to 79, Tip doesn't show up, even though Tip had winds of 190. I don't know why that is, but you know. Sally was also straight up just the most intense of the season. Opal, which I'll be which I'll have a video on just 2 videos from now. There is a Louise Marge in between Sally and Opal. had those winds of 195 as well. However, in terms of pressure, this storm is the most intense, again at that 894. Sally is also one of the very few, in fact, only 5 Category 5 equivalents of the 64 typhoon season. One that I have not mentioned so far is Cora. Cora was a Cat 5 equivalent in open waters and impacted land as a storm or a depression, I can't remember. In the grand scheme of all recorded typhoons, only around others 6 other storms have higher wind speeds or wind speeds that match this one, and that being 195 miles per hour. That is an insanely high wind speed to even achieve, and the amount of energy required is absolutely unbelievable. But this one, Sally, Louise Marge, technically just Louise, and I'll explain that in that video, and Opal would all do this, as well as Cora, and one other that I am forgetting for some reason right now. I don't know why I'm forgetting it, but I am. I hope that you all enjoyed this video on Sally, though. I hope you learned something. Of course, that's the point of these. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Again, thank you so much for watching.